One of the things it's doing is it's changing your tolerance for spending a long time doing something that involves hard, deep work and thinking. If you're getting 2,000 messages a day, each one lasting maybe a second or 2 seconds, that's how your brain starts to process information in these bite-sized chunks. And they're all also chosen to be maximally enjoyable, interesting. They bombard you with interesting content. And so what happens is you assume the rest of the world is going to be like that. We get into an elevator for 5 seconds and that's too much. That's hard. So we pull out our phones to be entertained in that moment. And that's how the rest of the world becomes. So if I say to a 7-year-old kid who's on a screen all day, it's time to learn to read, the amount of energy and intense concentration you're asking for there is so different from what that kid is used to. If it's been about sort of scrolling through videos, that's deeply problematic. You can't expect people to just suddenly turn on this muscle that they haven't been using. So it makes us less used to having to try really hard. And so that's, I think, one big problem. If you look at how many hours a day we're doing this for, there's a huge amount of other stuff. The opportunity cost there is so great that we're leaving this other stuff behind. So I could be spending that time having a conversation with a loved one or a friend. I could be spending that time in a natural environment, or I could be exercising. I could be doing lots of different things, but I don't do any of that stuff because I'm spending time mindlessly scrolling. So there's a huge amount there. Years before the rest of us were aware of this, Steve Jobs, with his own kids, he wouldn't bring the iPad into his house. Mm-hmm. And then you look at other tech titans. There's a school in the Bay Area that doesn't let kids near phones or use screens until about 9th grade, until they learn to code.
Yep.
That school, 75% of the kids there are the kids of Silicon Valley tech execs. So they are sending their kids, the people who know the most about what this tech is doing are keeping their kids as far away from these products as possible, especially in the school environment.